But yeah, so far this is, this has no strength to it. All right, welcome back, reviews and more, and we're looking at another John Varvatos fragrance. This one's called John Varvatos Artisan. This is a blind buy for me. I picked this up on JomaShop along with a bunch of their John Varvatos stuff, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, I think this is gonna be like an old man kind of fragrance, and to not be offensive. This, and sometimes that's great, because let's face it, like something about a lot of these, like I'm gonna say mass appealing fragrances out there is like every time a man wears them, it's like, are they trying to get laid or are they trying to be professional? Maybe this is like not old man, maybe it's just professional. But yeah, this is about $30-ish on JomaShop, so it's not super expensive. Let's go ahead and talk about the notes real fast from Fragrantica. It's gonna be clementine, tangerine, marjoram, and then thyme. Actually, another fragrance I did recently from John Varvatos has a similar opening note. Then you get middle notes of orange blossom, ginger, lavender, and jasmine. We're looking less and less like old man smell and more like it might just be a nice, pleasant, clean kind of smell, which is gonna be cool. But once you see the bottle, if you haven't already seen it, you'll understand why I was like, oh, this is gonna be an old man smell. But maybe I'm wrong. Then we get a musk, woodsy notes, which I hate that as a note. Tell me, at least give me a type of wood. And then amber. To me, woodsy notes just means it's gonna smell like oak wood. If oak wood is the standard wood in my opinion, so if it says woodsy notes, that's what I'm gonna pretend it just says oak wood. Then we get amber, so maybe it'll be a little resinous and sweet on the base, kind of honeyish. Let's go ahead and open this thing up. There is nothing to me that says old man like wicker, and that's kind of what I get from this. Now, I love John Varvatos bottles. I like that they take the time for the presentation. They put some effort into it. Excellent work. I appreciate every bit of it. But something about wicker just makes me think, oh, yeah, this person's over the age of 60. But we'll see how this goes. Hopefully, it's going to be a little more youthful than I'm expecting, but who knows? You never know what's going to be. Very affordable, 125 ml, 4.2 ounce for like $30-ish. So again, the biggest complaint John Varvatos tends to get is it doesn't last very long, but we'll talk about that when I blip out of existence, then come back in after having worn this a few days. So as always on my channel, I do it on paper, then I do it on skin. I give you my basic interpretation of what those opening notes and what other notes maybe in the middle and base come through. Sometimes the fragrance is very linear, sometimes very sophisticated and complex. You don't smell it all at once, but let's go ahead and spray. Oh no, oh no, oh no. The atomizer, oh, it's on my hand. Okay, I got the atomizer back on, but not without the sacrifice of my hand. Ooh, that's a nice atomizer. Usually it's just like a spurt. That puts out some juice. Look at that. Okay, that's probably too much. But all right, let's go ahead and smell it on the paper. First things first. Well, first things first, it's not very strong. This might be kind of, I might have gotten clapped on this one. This one's not strong. Honestly, I feel like I'm just smelling paper with a little bit of like a hint of citrus. That's not, that doesn't make me feel too good. All right, let's try one more time. Did I miss? Don't think I missed. In fact, I didn't miss so much that the daggone paper is moist. Moist. Legit, I can't smell this. Like, it's almost like it's not there. What is going on? Like this, I'm getting like just the faintest hint of orange. Like a little bit of that tangerine clementine vibe that are in the notes. But it's almost like it's not there. I feel like I'm smelling paper more than I'm smelling a fragrance. Okay, what's going on here? This is weird. All right, let's do skin. Let's see what's up. Maybe it's just because it's on paper. Maybe it's just not gonna come off. No, this is a weak fragrance. This is, oh my gosh. It's barely there. That's disappointing. Okay. Well, based on this is not a safe blind buy because, well, I mean, if you just want to spray yourself with some slightly scented water, I mean, that's fine, I guess. But this is a negative review so far. I mean, it's just a little bit of orange mixed with, to me, almost nothing. It's a little stronger on skin, which makes sense because my skin's 90+ degrees, but what on earth? This is the first time, and I've looked at a lot of John Varvatos stuff. This is the first time I've been like, what am I even smelling here? one second. Let's try some. I'm gonna just overspray into my trash can to see maybe if it's just something wrong with the juice that was in the atomizer, like in the pipe. All right, we just wasted a whole lot of juice. Doesn't matter because it was inexpensive. There's a lot in here. All right, 2 more sprays. Let's see what we get out of this, if anything at all. And I don't know if that atomizer is going to work for me. We'll see how it goes. Ow, hit my arm. All right. No, it's barely there. You know what, guys? I got to do something. I'm going to get my wife to smell this for me. I'll be right back. All right, back from just checking with my wife and my child. My wife said, I can smell it, but she wasn't like, oh, it smells like this. And I asked her, how many times do you think I sprayed this on my wrist? She's like, once. I said, 6 times. And I said, what are you smelling? She's like, I mean, it smells, I can smell it. Not great. So then I went to my child, who has a much more discerning nose. I'm very proud of him because he agrees with me. I held my wrist up and said, buddy, help me out. Can you smell this? And he looks at me and goes, barely. I said, okay, there you go. The wisdom of a child. Yeah, so far, I'm going to review this as unbiased as I am able, which might not be all that able. But yeah, so far this is, this has no strength to it. Like the notion that I sprayed my wrist 6 times and you get a kid going, barely smells. So it's not an old man scent, at least there's that, but it's definitely not strong. So we'll see how it goes. I'll give it the college try. I'll overspray this several days in a row and see what happens with it and see what goes on and what I notice. I'll spray a piece of clothing and hang it up and see if I can smell it later on. We're gonna try everything with this, but yeah, I'll jump back in a little while and kind of give you the rundown of what those notes are. Although so far I barely smell them at all. It's like imagine like someone sprayed a water bottle that had like 5 drops of orange juice in it. That's kind of that's kind of the vibe that this is. It's just not much there. It's very, 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 very light, if there at all. And it's like a vague orange blossom. I'm not getting like a juicy citrus from this. It's more just like orange blossom and not a whole lot else, which is interesting because some of those notes like lavender tends to hit very hard and fast. So we'll see how this goes. See you in a bit. All right, got cooked on this one. This is not worth it. Not a good blind buy. Not a good experience buy. It's just not a good buy. So that's a bummer. But you know, that's part of the learning process and getting through and trying out new things. This is one from John Varvatos that I would not encourage purchasing. I'll go ahead and tell you real fast why. I honestly, normally what I do here is I talk about longevity and projection, and then I kind of talk about the note breakdown and how those relate to each other. The best I can describe this, by the time I was able to finally clear my nose out enough to actually smell this on skin, which typically is going to be a stronger overall presentation. The best way I can describe it, it's imagine somebody took a cedarwood flavored Sprite and spilled it somewhere in a room like a week ago. It's that weak. It's like you have to put your nose right on the skin to get any kind of that citrusiness to it that's in there. And then that lasts for maybe 30 to 45 minutes. I'm like, I don't know if I got a bad bottle. That's certainly possible. I don't know if it's just from when this was made around, I think this was originally released in like 09. Maybe that has something to do with it. But yeah, I can barely smell it just on the atomizer. I'm not wearing any fragrance right now. I've not sprayed any fragrance. There's nothing else competing with this. And I can just barely smell it. It's just barely there. It's the most faint smell. It's less than like if you wash your hands with any like cheap store brand soap, you have substantially more like fragrance on your hand. There's just nothing here. And I don't know if this is just a result of it being an EDT formulation. I don't know if, again, it's a disappointment, but that happens sometimes. So yeah, skip this one. I know it looks cool. If you just want it for the collection, if you got like a cologne collection, you like the way this looks and you want to put them all on the wall, go for it. But if you're looking for a functional cologne that's going to actually do something for you that's useful and appreciable, this is not the way to go. Thanks for watching, guys.